As I fine-tune the lens of my microscope, the vastness of the world compresses into a solitary cell, its nucleus brimming with possibilities waiting to unfold. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Melissa, a 32-year-old medical technologist with a passion for sharing experiences. My life, much like the slides I examine, has consistently revolved around precision, detail, and clarity. Every day I explore the tiny wonders, uncovering the elegance hidden from view, and discovering harmony amidst the disorder. Yet existence transcends what lies beneath the viewfinder. Meet Cody, my husband, a software engineer whose charisma and commitment shine as brightly as the lines of code he meticulously crafts. In our journey, we've crafted a life that embodies the essence of suburban happiness. In our cozy abode filled with warmth and joy, Benny, our golden retriever, adds the perfect touch to our lives. His wagging tail and playful antics weave a tapestry of joy, the kind that invites you to experience it fully without the need for analysis or understanding. Just pure feeling. Weekends are our adventure. We wander along paths that seem to hold secrets where the atmosphere is invigorating, and the only melody is the soft rustle of leaves beneath our steps. Movie nights are our escape, where we immerse ourselves in narratives, our hands seeking one another in the shadows. And then there are the dinner parties, where friends come together, laughter dances in the air, and for a fleeting moment, everything seems just right. Yet beneath this calm facade, a tempest is gathering, a revelation so startling that it risks dismantling all we've created. It's an unexpected twist in a life that seems so carefully arranged. It began quietly, much like the initial hints of an ailment revealed through a lens, a missed call. Echoes in the silence, an unexplained absence lingers in the air. Initially, I brushed it off as just the pressures of my job, the relentless pace of a life where every little thing counts. Yet, with each strange occurrence, my discomfort deepened. One evening as I prepared dinner, the stillness of our home wrapped around me like a heavy blanket. Cody found himself running behind once more. His calls met only with the silence of voicemail. Benny, picking up on my unease, settled beside me, his head gently placed on my knee, his eyes reflecting a deep worry. It was at that moment I sensed a peculiar shift, a subtle yet undeniable alteration in the atmosphere of our home. A book sat awkwardly untouched by my hands for what felt like ages. There it lay, a medical textbook that had once accompanied me through my studies, now resting open on the coffee table, its pages adorned with unfamiliar notes that told a different tale. A sense of wonder intertwined with an unsettling feeling compelled me to turn the pages. The notes held an air of mystery, brimming with allusions to situations I recognized, yet the script was a stranger to me. It felt like an unseen observer had been delving into our existence, uncovering our hidden truths, all through the perspective of my own career. The creak of the front door swung open, pulling me from my thoughts and into the present moment. Cody's voice, typically soothing, now held a hint of an unfamiliar tension that left me unsettled. "Hey, I apologize for my tardiness," he remarked, his grin failing to illuminate his gaze. I felt the urge to face him, to seek the truth, yet an invisible force kept me at bay. It could be the trepidation of the unknown that awaits me. Instead, I observed him closely, taking note of the subtle shake in his hands as he filled his glass, the way his eyes seemed to wander away from my own. That night, as we lay in bed, the stillness enveloped us like a vast void. As I tuned into his rhythmic breathing, a sense of tranquility enveloped me, yet my imagination spun wild tales, each one darker and more disquieting than the previous. What could ever come along to shake the foundations of such an idyllic existence? The question lingered in my mind, its answer elusive, like a whisper dancing just beyond my reach. The following morning, life resumed its usual rhythm. Yet it felt as though I was perceiving everything from a fresh perspective. The clarity I once cherished now seemed like a mask concealing a deeper truth, a shadow I feared to explore. As I got ready for the day, my hands followed a routine, yet my thoughts wandered to distant places. The picture of the book, the scribbled notes, Cody's habitual tardiness, all intertwined, creating a tapestry of events that eluded my understanding. The journey to the lab felt like a whirlwind, my mind racing with the enigma that was unraveling right within my own walls. At work, I immersed myself in my tasks, yet the precision I once valued became a means to unravel the narrative of my own existence. Each cell, each slide appeared to murmur. Mysteries compelling me to delve deeper to uncover what lay beneath the surface. The hours drifted by, filled with the familiar and the unexpected. Every test and every result resonated deeply, reflecting the narrative of my existence. I was searching for the unusual, for indications of illness. But what if the true affliction lay within the walls of my own home? What if the source of the illness was someone dear to my heart? As the sun dipped below the horizon, stretching shadows throughout the lab, I realized it was time to confront the truth that had been lingering in the air. The tempest was approaching, and I had to confront it directly. This evening, I would approach Cody not with blame, but with inquiries driven by a desire for clarity. The drive home was filled with a palpable tension, each mile stretching out like a chapter waiting to unfold, brimming with the promise of what lay ahead. As I parked the car and inhaled deeply, I crossed the threshold into our home, prepared to unveil the truth regardless of how startling it could turn out to be. On a seemingly ordinary Thursday evening, the initial hints of my life's looming upheaval began to surface. Cody found himself burning the midnight oil once more, a familiar scene that left me sharing the evening with Benny. Restlessness washed over me, prompting a late-night stroll with Benny to the train station, a spot where the gentle murmur of the tracks often brought me peace. The station, empty and still in the quiet of night, held an eerie charm, with the silence occasionally broken by the faint sound of a train whistle in the distance. As we strolled along, a sense of solitude lingered in the air, the burden of my unmet longings. Heavy upon my heart, Benny, attuned to my feelings, lingered nearby, his warmth providing a gentle solace against the chill of the night. The rhythmic clatter of the trains mirrored the chaos swirling within my thoughts as I stood at the brink of the platform. My gaze was captivated by the abyss below, where the tracks vanished into the shadows. In this threshold of reality, my mind started to weave tales of its own. The notes in the medical textbook, Cody's evasive behavior, the subtle shifts in our home's atmosphere, they all intertwined, creating a tempest of doubt and anxiety. Benny settled next to me, his tail gently tapping the concrete, his gaze locked onto mine with a depth that seemed to inquire. "What's troubling you, Melissa?" As my hand glided over his soft fur, I felt a deep sense of comfort in the steadfast bond we shared. The atmosphere was sharp, infused with the aroma of metal and the buzz of electricity from the trains. As I shut my eyes, the symphony of the station enveloped me, each pound weaving a tale of its own. The distant hum, the occasional screech of brakes, they wove together a melody that often brought me peace. Yet this evening, they only heightened my discomfort. As I reflected on the book resting on the coffee table, I noticed the pages filled with annotations that didn't belong to me. The handwriting was meticulous, almost detached, yet it didn't belong to Cody. Who else would explore the depths of medical texts within our home? The consequences sent shivers down the spine. My imagination soared with endless scenarios. Did Cody find himself in a perilous situation? Was he exploring a condition on behalf of another? Or was it something deeper, a secret he held close to his heart, one he couldn't reveal to me? The idea that he could be concealing a health issue from me, someone in the medical field, pierced my heart. Benny gently nudged my hand, drawing me away from the depths of my swirling thoughts. As I gazed at him, his eyes shimmered with the soft glow of the station's dim lights. "You're aware, aren't you?" I murmured softly, as if sharing a secret with the air around us. There's an unmistakable shift, a whisper of hidden tales weaving their way into our existence. The chill crept in beneath my jacket, yet it hardly registered in my mind. I found myself reflecting deeply, analyzing each moment, each look Cody had shared with me lately. Were there clues I overlooked? He averted his eyes. His hands quivered slightly, and it felt as though he was perpetually on the brink of sharing something. Yet he remained silent. I rose to my feet, compelled by an urge to wander, to shake off the weight of the moment. Benny ambled alongside me, the leash gently trailing from my grasp. As we strolled down the platform, the sound of our footsteps resonated, creating a vivid contrast against the stillness of the night. Every step resonated with the weight of a journey leading us to a pivotal moment where revelation could either liberate us or dismantle everything we knew. The station clock chimed, echoing the rhythm of life as it flowed onward, a gentle nudge that reminded me of the journey unfolding, whether I grasped it or not. I took a moment to glance at the clock, its hands moving forward without mercy. "What adventures await us, Benny?" I inquired, my voice scarcely rising above a murmur. "What tales lie beneath the surface of our seemingly flawless existence?" The train station, shrouded in an eerie atmosphere, appeared to pause in anticipation, yearning for the revelations just as I was. As I made my way back home, I felt the weight of the moment ahead. It was time to engage with Cody, not to cast blame, but to seek understanding, to uncover the reality beneath the surface. The meticulous approach I once dedicated to my craft would now be redirected inward, unraveling the tapestry of our shared existence in pursuit of the irregularity, the affliction that loomed over us, threatening to engulf our bond. As we made our way home, the burden of the night's discoveries lingered heavily on my mind, yet there was an unwavering spirit, a commitment to confront whatever challenges awaited. Benny's presence illuminated the enduring love and loyalty within our home, a guiding light amidst the gathering storm. The journey home felt drawn out, every footfall laden with a sense of expectation. The night had transformed from merely cold to a canvas painted with the vibrant hues of change on the horizon. As we drew near to our home, a sense of anticipation filled the air, for I understood that the coming hours would shape not only our destiny, but also the core of our identity as partners. As darkness enveloped the night, the stillness of the station echoed my restless thoughts. Benny, my loyal friend, nestled close as I rested against the chill of the metal bench. In a moment of openness, I revealed my innermost fears and desires to him, hoping he could truly grasp their essence. The dialogue, though lacking in reciprocity, took an unforeseen twist that captivated the moment I discovered that I was sharing my thoughts, my voice soft and almost like a secret. "Benny, what if Cody has a secret he's not sharing with me? What if maybe the perfect life we imagined wasn't entirely real?" The air was thick with my words, intertwining with the chilly whispers of the night. Benny's ears stood at attention, his gaze locked onto me with a fervor that conveyed a silent promise of support. In a fleeting moment of uncertainty propelled by solitude and an intense yearning for companionship, I discovered myself doing something I never expected of myself. The moment unfolded quickly, leaving an intense feeling of confusion and release. As I delved into my pocket, my fingers brushed against a small, well-known item, stirring memories of the past. Cody had forgotten his phone at home earlier that day. The allure was irresistible, a strong desire to understand, to grasp a hint of reality amidst this ocean of doubt. With trembling hands, I unlocked it, the screen casting a glow that danced in the shadows surrounding me as I navigated through his messages. A rush of excitement surged within me, my heart racing with anticipation. Amidst the ordinary, there lingered an air of mystery. Messages came from a number I didn't recognize and couldn't place, weaving tales of times and places that danced just out of reach of understanding. Every word hurt the trust we built together that had been carefully woven with Cody through the years. Benny, noticing my unease, drew nearer, his comforting presence a vivid counterpoint to the painful realization of broken trust that enveloped me. I leaned in close and murmured, "What am I doing, Benny? This doesn't reflect who I am." Yet the deed was completed. I found myself crossing a line I never imagined I would tread into Cody's personal space. A moment of deep reflection on my actions washed over me, engulfing me in its depths. Once I held my integrity close, cherishing the sacredness of personal boundaries. Yet in this moment, I found myself going against the principles I used to follow. The unveiling, however, was the understanding, the brief glimpse of mastery in a scenario where I felt completely at the mercy of circumstances. With a swift motion, I secured the phone, my hands trembling as I tucked it away into my pocket. The moment, though fleeting, etched itself into my being, a reminder I understood I would eventually have to face Benny's tail thumped gently against the bench, offering a small solace in the wide expanse of the station's solitude. The stillness of the night transformed into a canvas, painted with the echoes of what once was where my trust had found its home. I rose to my feet, burdened by the consequences of my choices, the heaviness of the truths I now held within me. Benny trailed behind his leash, trailing on the ground as we started our journey back home. As we strolled, I found myself weaving the messages in my mind, attempting to unravel their significance. With every step, the weight of the world pressed down, transforming the familiar route to our home into a trek toward an unavoidable reckoning. The night air carried a weight of transformation, a fragrance that hinted at possibilities both healing and shattering. The station lights flickered, creating elongated shadows that swayed alongside my uncertainties. A sense of unease washed over me, as if I had just started something I wasn't ready for. What tales would unfold upon my return home? Would Cody become aware of the invasion of his personal space? Would he face me with the doubts that lingered in his mind? The journey home felt like a whirlwind, my thoughts swirling with vivid images, each one more disconcerting than the previous. Benny's presence was a steady anchor, a testament to the love and loyalty that lingered in our home. Even as the tempest swirled around us as we neared our home, the lights shone brightly, creating a cozy ambiance that stood in stark contrast to the chilling unease settling within me. I lingered at the threshold, inhaling deeply. The phone nestled in my pocket felt heavy as lead. Benny gazed up at me, his eyes brimming with trust and purity. "My apologies, Benny," I murmured softly, almost as if to reassure my own thoughts. "I sincerely hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for my actions." As I crossed the threshold, the comforting embrace of our home wrapped around me. Yet it carried a new weight shadowed by my choices. Cody stood in the kitchen, his back turned to me as he filled his glass with a drink. His movements were relaxed, oblivious to the chaos I was introducing into our haven. "Hey, you're back," he said, turning with a smile that seemed to hold a deeper tale behind it. What tales did the walk unfold? A smile crept onto my face, though the phone nestled in my pocket felt like a hot ember against my skin. It was a captivating experience. I responded, the gravity of my words lingering in the air around us. The evening stretched on, filled with the tension I had been expecting as the moment of reckoning arrived. Yet it wasn't solely the hidden truths that Cody could be harboring. It was equally about the breach of understanding that had taken place. The tempest had arrived, and I stood ready to confront it, not merely for the revelations surrounding Cody, but for the deeper understanding of who I truly was. The days that followed unfolded like a whirlwind of remorse and uncertainty. I steered clear of Cody's touch, anxious that he could detect the treachery lurking beneath the surface. Benny, too, appeared to gaze at me in a new light, his eyes brimming with a poignant understanding. My craft faltered, my previously sharp focus now lost amidst the chaos swirling inside. I started to reflect deeply on every aspect of my existence, my relationship, my aspirations. Could this be just a fleeting moment, or does it hint at something more profound beneath the surface? The burden of my hidden truth became increasingly daunting, guiding me to a moment of choice. It was during the nights that the challenges felt most intense. As I lay next to Cody, a sense of being an outsider in my own existence washed over me. His breathing steady and calm painted a vivid picture against the chaos swirling in my thoughts. Every evening, I found myself revisiting that scene at the train station, the texts on his phone, the chilling unease that had taken root in my heart. I began to observe more details that seemed amiss. A shirt that was unfamiliar in his wardrobe, along with a receipt for a meal at a restaurant we had never set foot in. Every revelation felt like an additional clue in a mystery I was reluctant to unravel. At work, I attempted to immerse myself in the daily grind, yet each slide, each cell appeared to echo my hidden truths. The meticulous nature I once valued had transformed into a means to unravel the narrative of my own existence. I was searching for the unusual, for hints of illness, but what if the true affliction lay within the walls of my own abode? What if the source of the illness was someone dear to my heart, The weight of remorse was overwhelming. The weight of my actions lingered heavily on my conscience as I realized I had not only crossed a boundary with Cody, but had also undermined the very trust that held our bond together. The idea of revealing my truth sent shivers down my spine, but the weight of this hidden truth felt like a deep betrayal of everything I stood for one evening as I prepared dinner. The stillness of our home wrapped around me like a heavy blanket. Cody found himself running behind. Once more, his phone ringing unanswered, leading straight to voicemail. Benny, picking up on my unease, settled beside me, his head gently resting on my knee, his eyes reflecting a deep concern. I gazed at him, his steadfast loyalty shining through, and murmured, "What should I do? Benny, what steps can I take to resolve this issue?" The front door creaked open and Cody stepped inside, a smile on his lips that didn't quite touch his eyes. "Hey, sorry I'm late," he said, his voice tinged with an unidentifiable emotion. I observed him closely, catching the subtle shake in his hands as he filled his glass, the way his eyes seemed to drift away from my own. The atmosphere was heavy with untold tales, and I felt the urge to shatter the stillness. "Cody, we have something important to discuss," I said, my voice unwavering even as turmoil raged within me. He halted his beverage, suspended mid-air, and regarded me with a blend of intrigue and unease. "What tales shall we explore?" he inquired, his voice tinged with careful consideration. I inhaled deeply, the carefully crafted phrases swirling in my thoughts, eager to break free. "I've been sensing that there's a secret lingering between us, and I've acted in a way that weighs heavily on my conscience." I admitted it, my heart racing with every word. Cody placed his drink on the table, his face transforming from a look of bewilderment to one of worry. "What tales do you have to share, Melissa?" I reached into my pocket and pulled out his phone, the screen still illuminated with the messages I had already seen. "I confess to having gone through your phone." The admission leaving a sour note in my mouth, I stumbled upon messages from an individual detailing times and locations, filled with elements that left me puzzled. His face turned ashen, and for a brief moment he fell into silence, absorbing the weight of my revelation. "You took a peek at my phone." His voice carried a blend of pain and incredulity. "I understand the mistake I made, Cody." In a moment of turmoil, I found myself lost and seeking clarity. I wondered, perhaps there was something you weren't sharing with me. Cody settled into his seat, gripping the glass with both hands. "Melissa, those messages hold a different meaning than you believe. I've been crafting something special, a little surprise. I've been eager to share with you. It's not just about someone else. It's about our journey together." The sense of relief washed over me like a gentle tide, but it quickly receded, leaving only echoes behind. "A project," I repeated as my thoughts hurried to keep pace. "Indeed," he remarked, his tone becoming gentler. "I've been weaving together plans for our journey, a second honeymoon filled with enchanting moments. The messages come from a travel agent weaving together the details to ensure everything is just right." The burden of my error fell heavily upon my shoulders. In that moment, I was filled with doubt, unaware that he was weaving a tapestry of something truly wonderful for us. "Cody, I truly apologize. I ought to have had faith in you." I allowed my anxieties to take control of my actions. As he leaned in, his fingers brushed against mine, a connection sparking in the air between us. "I see the reasons behind your actions, Melissa. However, we must delve into the essence of trust and explore the unfolding narrative between us." The dialogue that ensued was unfiltered, heart-wrenching, yet essential. We shared our deepest anxieties, our vulnerabilities, and the weight of life's expectations that had gradually erected barriers between us. Cody opened up about his challenges, expressing his anxieties about not measuring up and the possibility of losing what we shared. In our conversation, it dawned on me that my intrusion into his private life was more than just a breach of understanding. It was a reflection of deeper underlying problems. We had both become so engrossed in upholding the illusion of our flawless existence that we overlooked the importance of tending to the truth of our bond. "We have to dive into this, Melissa," Cody said, his gaze sincere. We must navigate our path back to one another, not merely through journeys or unexpected gestures, but through sincerity and by truly being there for each other. I nodded, emotions swelling within me. I desire that, Cody. I long for us to reconnect on a deeper level beyond the facade we've built. Benny, a silent witness to the unfolding moments, approached with a gentle wag of his tail. He appeared to feel the change in the air, the gradual dispersal of the weighty gloom that had settled over our dwelling. That night, as we lay in bed, the silence held a unique weight. It was not the abyss of hidden truths, but the stillness of comprehension, a promise to restore what was lost. The sound of Cody's breathing wrapped around me like a warm embrace, a gentle reminder that we were sharing this journey side by side. The days that came after were filled with challenges. We found ourselves facing the truth of our weaknesses, the fissures in our base, yet with every dialogue, every moment of genuine exchange, we were reconstructing the fragments of what had once been whole. At work, I discovered a fresh perspective not only in the accuracy of my duties, but in the realization that life, much like the cells I examined, was intricate and brimming with unforeseen surprises. Yet these anomalies were more than mere challenges to address. They were moments that unfolded, revealing paths to growth and fostering deeper connection. The tempest had moved on, yet the wisdom it imparted remained. I discovered that trust is something that must be earned, not freely offered. It was acquired through effort held onto with care and at times painstakingly restored. Cody and I embarked on an uncharted journey, one where we would confront our fears side by side, bringing them into the light instead of letting them linger in the darkness. As I gazed at Benny, his eyes shimmering in the soft glow of our bedroom, I softly murmured, "Thank you, Benny, for being our anchor, our reminder of the truth that surrounds us." With a rhythmic thump of his tail, a silent vow of unwavering love and loyalty unfolded before me, hinting at the journey we would embark on together in the days to come. One evening, as Cody and I sat in our living room, the atmosphere was thick with unspoken words. Benny rested at our feet, a quiet observer of the slow disintegration of our once flawless existence. Overwhelmed by the burden, I finally let it all spill out to Cody. The atmosphere was thick with an unspoken weight pierced solely by my quiet cries and Benny's gentle whines. Cody's response took me by surprise. Rather than feeling anger or disgust, a deep sorrow washed over me, a recognition that the life we had shared was now marred by the fractures of my choices. I found myself at a loss for what to do next. I spoke softly, my voice quivering with emotion. It seemed as though we were drifting apart, and I couldn't bear to stand by and let it unfold. Cody gazed at me, his eyes mirroring a tempest of feelings. "Melissa, I see the reasons behind your actions, yet there's more to it than merely the device isn't there. It's a narrative of our journey of who we have evolved into." His words pierced the haze of my remorse. "I understand. I confessed I've become so absorbed in the minutiae, in the peculiarities, that I've overlooked what truly matters." He extended his hand, grasping mine in a way that was simultaneously strange and known. "I've been crafting this journey, this second honeymoon, as a way to evoke the memories of our bond and all that we cherish together. Perhaps it's essential to begin right here, within our own walls, embracing truthfulness." I nodded, absorbing the gravity of his words. "Cody, I've been feeling really frightened, fearful of the thought of being without you, fearful of falling short. In moments of fear, I have stumbled along the way." He held my hand with a tender grip. "We've both had our share of missteps. Melissa, I've been so consumed by my responsibilities, striving for perfection, that I've overlooked our connection." Unbeknownst to me, the subtle shifts were taking place, the space widening between us. The sincerity in his voice struck deep within me, resonating like an explosion in my spirit. "What shall we embark on next?" I inquired softly. "We create anew." Cody declared, with conviction, "Trust is where it all begins. We must find a way to rebuild our trust in each other. We must embrace openness, sharing our fears, our desires, and all that lies within us." I gazed at Benny, his eyes brimming with worry. "And Benny," I said, a faint smile emerging amidst my tears, "he has been the anchor in our lives, a symbol of authenticity amidst the chaos." Cody let out a gentle laugh, the sound lightening the atmosphere around him. "Indeed, Benny has been our steadfast guide. Perhaps we ought to begin by embracing the same loyalty and openness that he demonstrates. The night unfolded before us as we shared our tales. Our conversation meandered through a tapestry of topics, weaving together the ordinary and the extraordinary. Cody opened up about his anxieties regarding the pressures of our life, expressing a sense of inadequacy and the worry that he was letting me down. I shared my deepest vulnerabilities, my anxiety about the potential loss of the clarity and mastery that shaped my career and how it had seeped into our personal life. As the dialogue unfolded, it became clear to me that our ideal existence wasn't defined by the lack of imperfections, but rather by the way we navigated through them. It seems we've been working hard to uphold a certain perception, haven't we? I spoke as the understanding began to unfold within me. Indeed, Cody nodded in agreement. Perhaps it's time to release that facade and concentrate on the genuine connections, on what we truly seek from one another. The atmosphere shifted not due to the disappearance of our challenges, but because we stood united in confronting them. I'm eager to dive into this, Cody. I long for us to reconnect on a deeper level, beyond the facade we've built. He nodded, his eyes filled with sincerity. I desire that as well. Let's begin by engaging fully, by paying attention, by grasping the essence of what is shared. We decided to embark on a journey to restore our trust. All is revealed, and there are no more concealed motives. We would weave together our plans, our reflections, and even the simplest moments of our everyday lives. It was a journey of openness, a chance to share our inner worlds with one another. Benny, feeling the change in the air, approached with a gentle wag of his tail. It was as if he sensed a pivotal shift in the air around him. "Thank you, Benny," I whispered gently, caressing his fur, for being our beacon of what truly matters. In the days that followed, everything changed. Our interactions blossomed with a fresh sense of transparency. Cody would weave tales about his day, recounting his meetings, and even the simplest of tasks with a flair for storytelling. I discovered a new openness within me, revealing the intricacies of my work, the cells and slides that had previously dominated my mind, now intertwined with reflections of our shared moments. At work, I discovered a fresh perspective, not merely in the accuracy of my duties, but in the realization that life, much like the cells I examined, was intricate, brimming with unforeseen surprises. Yet these anomalies were more than mere challenges. They were gateways to growth and avenues for forging deeper connections. One evening, as we gathered in the kitchen to create our meal, the quiet was not heavy, but rather a warm embrace. Cody was busy chopping vegetables, and I was there stirring the sauce, creating a delicious symphony in the kitchen. We moved together in a rhythm that felt like a long-lost memory. "This feels good," I remarked, shattering the stillness. "It does," Cody replied, his smile lighting up his eyes this time. "It feels as though we're uncovering the layers of our connection once more." The meal was humble, yet it resonated with the warmth of mended bonds. We shared tales of the journey he envisioned transforming from a mere surprise into a testament of our bond. "I want this to mark a fresh start for us," Cody expressed, his voice brimming with optimism. I felt a sense of connection as I nodded in agreement, the warmth of his hand resting on mine across the table. "Let's embark on this fresh chapter together, right here in our own space with one another." As darkness enveloped the world outside, we gathered in the living room with Benny nestled at our feet, his gentle snores echoing the tranquility that had woven itself into the fabric of our home. We experienced a film, not merely to escape reality, but to revel in the joy and the serene pauses, our fingers intertwining in the shadows. The tempest had moved on, yet the wisdom it imparted remained. Through my experiences, I discovered that trust is a delicate thread woven through actions and intentions, often requiring effort to nurture and at times to mend after it has frayed, Cody. And I embarked on an uncharted journey, one where we would confront our fears side by side, bringing them into the light instead of leaving them lurking in the dark. As I gazed at Benny, his eyes shimmering in the soft glow of our bedroom, I softly expressed my gratitude, thanking him for being our steadfast presence, our reminder of what truly matters. With a rhythmic thump of his tail, a silent vow of unwavering love and loyalty unfolded before me, hinting at the journey we would embark on together in the days to come. As the days transformed into weeks, Cody and I ventured into a path of healing that was both excruciating and essential. Choosing to pursue counseling was a significant step for us, yet we both understood that our marriage deserved every effort we could give. The sessions were intense, each one unraveling the threads of our relationship, revealing the tender spots underneath. In the counselor's office, the atmosphere was heavy with the burden of our revelations. I found myself seated opposite Cody, our hands sometimes grazing one another, a subtle reminder of the bond we were striving to mend. The room held a stillness punctuated only by the gentle ticking of a clock, each tick echoing the moments we had squandered in a web of misunderstandings and hidden truths. "Share with me, Melissa, Dr. Ellis," the counselor started with a voice that was both gentle and firm, asking what thoughts crossed your mind when you chose to look through Cody's phone. I inhaled deeply, sensing the all-too familiar pang of remorse. Fear gripped me, and I couldn't help but let my voice slip to a mere whisper. It was as if our life was fading, and I sensed I was losing Cody to an unseen force, something beyond my grasp or comprehension. The notes in the textbook, the late nights, each moment felt like a chapter in a tale I was struggling to piece together. Cody fidgeted in his chair, his eyes fixed on the ground. "And Cody, what was your reaction when you discovered that Melissa had looked through your phone?" He raised his gaze, our eyes locking, a blend of pain and comprehension reflected in his expression. Once there was a feeling of betrayal, yet it dawned on me that I bore some responsibility as well. In my quest to create the perfect surprise, I became so absorbed in the details that I overlooked the impact my choices were having on Melissa. I kept my thoughts to myself, holding back my words. I departed, leaving her shrouded in shadows. Dr. Ellis nodded, her expression reflective. "Sharing experiences is the foundation of trust. What journey are you both prepared to embark on to restore that trust?" We shared our thoughts on being open, on revealing the details of our everyday experiences more candidly. Cody shared his longing to engage more deeply, not merely in body, but in spirit as well. I expressed my dedication to facing my fears head-on, ensuring that doubt doesn't linger unspoken. The sessions overflowed with emotion, not only from the anguish of our revelations, but also from the liberation of finally voicing the truths that had long been hidden away. There were disputes, instances when past hurts resurfaced, yet Dr. Ellis led us on a journey encouraging us to engage deeply, to really hear one another. Benny, our quiet witness, frequently accompanied us during these gatherings. His presence was a soothing comfort, a testament to the unwavering affection we aimed to reflect. One evening after a particularly intense session, we returned home. The silence between us, not burdensome, but contemplative. "I never understood the depth of my impact on you," Cody reflected as we lounged on the couch with Benny's head comfortably nestled in his lap. "It dawned on me just how my doubts were creating distance between us." I responded, my fingers intertwining with his. The train station, once a haven of comfort, now carried a different tale for me. It was the moment my reality started to fall apart. The point at which I had stepped over a boundary, yet it was in that place that I started to grasp the profound nature of my feelings for Cody, the strength of our bond. We began to frequent the station together, not merely for strolls, but to linger, to converse, to observe the world unfold around us. It transformed into a narrative of our quest for redemption. With every visit we delved deeper, revealing not just the ordinary aspects of our lives, but also our aspirations, anxieties, and visions for what lies ahead. On a brisk evening, while we lingered on the platform, the faint sound of a train drawing near, Cody glanced my way. "Do you believe we can truly navigate our way through this, Melissa?" As I gazed upon him, the one to whom I had vowed my heart through every trial and triumph, in moments of happiness and in times of despair. With unwavering belief, I declared, a sense of purpose resonating in my voice. For we are making the choice to stand strong for ourselves each and every day. The train rolled by its whistle, resonating with our determination. Benny, the loyal friend, wagged his tail, his eyes shimmering in the soft glow of the station, quietly observing our dedication. As we strolled home, fingers intertwined, the night seemed to whisper secrets of its own. The atmosphere was invigorating, infused with the aroma of transformation and fresh starts. Our home, once a stage for hidden truths, was gradually transforming into a refuge, once more not of flawlessness, but of genuine, heartfelt affection. The journey had only just begun. Amidst the journey, shadows of uncertainty lingered as familiar patterns attempted to resurface. Yet every time we looked to one another, reflecting on the lessons we had gathered through our journey, the deep affection we shared, and Benny, whose steadfast devotion served as a beacon of what we could aim to achieve. In the stillness of our bedroom, as Cody and I rested next to each other, the silence transformed from a void into a realm of connection, brimming with the assurance of a future grounded in truth and faith. Benny nestled at the foot of the bed, his gentle snoring a soothing reminder of the tranquility gradually settling back into our lives. The question hung in the atmosphere, resonating not only with us, but with anyone who could catch a glimpse of our tale. Will Melissa and Cody navigate the twists and turns of their relationship? Or is this the final chapter in their shared adventure? Only time would reveal the journey ahead. But for now, we were traversing that path together, step by step, moving towards healing, moving towards one another. If you found this tale captivating, be sure to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts. This will assist us in crafting more captivating narratives for you.